Hi, this is Ajanta ma'am. This is the third part to the short story, The Blue Bead by Nora Burke. Please go back to my first two videos to have a complete insight to the story. Now, in the second part, I was discussing about Sibia, her character, and why she was called a child woman, and how happy she was when she had visited the market. Now, what was Sibia's experience at the sweetmeat stall that she had seen in the market? Sibia was amazed. She paused in front of the sweetmeat stall to gaze at the brilliant honey confection above, abuzz with dust and flies. The confection, sweet confection that she saw, smelled wonderful. She wanted to eat but had no money with her. The smell of drains, the humanity, the crowded bazaar, and cheap cigarettes. Above all, the smell of these wonderful sweetmeats attracted her. She saw a cloth stall stacked with great rolls of cotton cloth stamped at the edge with the maker's sign of a tiger's head. She liked the stall because it smelled wonderful of, new rolls of cloth that had come from the mills. The smell was so nice that she could stand there for all day. This trip to the bazaar is significant because it emphasizes Sibia's life and how poor they were. Sibia was marked for work from the time she was born. She picked up sticks, she did cooking, she helped her mother in household chores. Even though Sibia had seen wonderful things in the bazaar, she had seen the satin sewn with real silver thread, tin trays from Birmingham, a sari which had got chips of looking glass embroidered into the border. She had also seen a Kashmiri traveling merchant showing dawn-colored silks that poured like cream. He had got a little lock chest with turquoises and opals in it. And this Kashmiri merchant who sold dawn-colored silk that poured like cream, and a yellow woolen a box which had turquoises and opals in it. When pressed, a yellow chicken jumped out from the box. Sibia had a great time in the bazaar, and She loved to see everything. She understood what finery was. She had seen all that. And even though her life was very, very hard, because the people who reside in the vicinity of the forests, their life is full of hardships. Her life was Sibya's life was very, very difficult. She had to go up to the mountains to collect paper grass with her mother, and they used to balance while cutting the paper grass, and they used to bring it down and then take it to the market to sell. Throughout the day, the women worked very, very hard, and they sold whatever paper grass they collected to this merchant who sat all day long on silk cushions enjoying his hookah. But all that did not trouble Sibya. Sibya climbed the cliffs, the steep cliffs, with her mother and the other women of the village, and she would climb to the top, and while coming down she had a big load to carry. These women wore necklaces, and these necklaces were made of, as the author writes, lal lal beejes, shiny red seeds, which grew everywhere in the jungle. And when these necklaces were old, they wore new ones. They would pierce the seed with a needle, and they would draw a thread and they would wear it around their necks. Sibya also wished to wear one necklace made of a tiny red seed. She was making one, but unfortunately the seed was hard as stone, and it could only be drilled by a red hot needle. And Sibya broke her family needle, so she had to wait unless a new needle could be bought. Another pointer that how hard her life was. Now, while these women went up the mountains to collect paper grass, they crossed this river in order to climb that mountain. And on their way, while crossing the river on stones, they would jump on the stones crossing the river. There were crocodiles waiting for them. So they generally traveled in big groups. And one day, while they were going to pick up crossing the forest to go to the mountains to pick paper grass, Sibya saw these nomadic graziers. Now, why are they nomadic graziers? They are the people who roam around from place to place frequently until they get greenery to graze their animals. They stay in one place, perhaps only till the time their animals have grazed enough and there is no greenery left, and then they move on to other places.